I'm Max Parker-Smith of Maximilian Design. Journey Beyond, the South Australian Tourism Commission and Tourism Western Australia have partnered to bring an Australian garden to the prestigious RHS Chelsea Flower Show in London in May 2026. Celebrating the Indian Pacific, one of the world's epic rail journeys, the garden will convey the diversity of Australian landscapes along the route. Translating a journey like this into the language of garden design it's no easy feat. What I've done is I have looked for certain details which I think capture the essence of the experience of the outback. It was brilliant to be able to see certain plants which I have been researching and actually to see how they grow in the national park and see how they relate to all the other plants around them. The Aboriginal cultures had such an intense relationship and connection to the land. It's fascinating to see how plants play such an important role in Aboriginal culture. But it's so interesting that there are these microclimates that you have which give you opportunity to grow loads of different plants. There are some melaleucas which were brilliant to see, some of the bulbines, and then of course the Aremophila nivea, which is a plant that I'm using in the garden. The Rottnest blue daisy. Of course, loved the Banksias, the Hackleas, the Verticordias, the eucalyptus are absolutely to die for. The thing I was most excited to see on the train from Adelaide to Perth was the Nullarbor. The more you look at the flora here, the more you realise that although it's in this sort of quite refined spectrum, there are a really strong array of greens, greys, there's electric blues, some glaucous colours, even the stem and the bark of the trees. There's so many layers to the planting here, and it's all like popped against this lovely, beautiful, warm ochre soil. I think it's more about pulling on little experiences, little moments, using materials which are typically seen in Australia, things like corten steel, ochre soil. Creating very strong straight lines throughout the garden, and of course using really beautiful pieces of natural rock, using them as stepping stones. You've got this beautiful contrast between this modern finish and the rawness of the boulder itself. I want people to be able to walk past the garden and go, that is an Australian garden. I want people to go and sit in a corner close to the water feature, underneath the canopy of the acacias, but then also indulge in the huge impressive display of the sand planting which surrounds the dining area. The thing that I'm looking forward to the most at Chelsea Flower Show within the garden is the type of plants I'm using is something which I'm not used to. You know, I love that it's stretching me, and I love that it's stretching my sense of design, my plant knowledge, my plant palette, and I think it's gonna produce a really exciting, interesting planting scheme which hopefully will turn quite a few heads at the show.